ready. Hello.
Hello, how's everybody? Welcome.
Welcome, y'all. Look who
Hi,
we
Ashley.
have back with us. It's Ashley.
I'd like to say hello, but
Oh,
I think we have something
we have
to address before I can really say a true hello.
Yeah, we got to settle the beef.
Yeah.
What's the beef?
You're asking me?
Oh, I thought there was a beef.
Yeah, there's a beef. There's a beef. Big time.
Tell us.
You say good night to Ashley.
Well,
Oh,
we all
we
know
forgot.
how YouTube can be, right? Like, we all know that there's like ups and downs in YouTube. And I guess this is finally, our big moment to have a real issue.
We didn't fully address a good night to Ashley on the
We
last
didn't
show.
get, yeah. Who did?
What was that?
Say good night to.
I didn't hear you.
Can we hear everyone?
I will say goodnight to all the people addressed in chat. What happened there, I'll tell you, is that chat was moving. Chat was cruising there. There's a lot of people in chat. And I didn't see your name directly. And so when I looked over at chat, I was like, bye, all the people whose name I see.
Like, that bitch can't just possibly be listening. So what I was doing is I was making a reel on my Instagram, and I was actively listening, and I was like, you know what? Those are my best friends, and they're gonna say goodnight to me no matter what. And they're like, okay, user 53269, good night. Thanks for being here. Thanks, random troll. Thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. Thanks, troll bot. You're cool. You're the best. You're a favorite chatter. And they're like, I guess that's everyone. Okay, bye. And I was like, motherfuckers.
It was good too, because I was like, Ashley, I asked you a question and you popped right in. You're like, oh, I'm here. Like, and like 20 minutes, 30, an hour before that, however long before that.
That's right.
And I should have known.
Active listening, I think, and what else was I going to say about that? Oh, yeah. So I put it on my community page. I told all my loyal subs to thumbs down the video. So,
which they did. Clearly, all the thumbs downs. That's all I got. I got a whole bunch of thumbs downs for graphs.
Thumbs down. I mean, and can we also address, like, this is my ADHD a little bit, but like, so Yep used to be a sub of mine. Is she a troll?
It sounds like it.
Sounds like she's a thief.
It sounds like she wasn't as amazing as we thought she was, which is really disappointing. As it kind of happens in these parts. Every once in a while. Not but yeah, we got some unsettling information about,
like, why do people come to YouTube to scam? It seems like there would be such easier scams than being on YouTube and like creating a whole channel, making all these videos, putting hours of effort into creating videos to get like $20 from someone. Like, that feels like you could come up with a better scam than that. Like, I was trying to figure out like what the scam was, and I was like, wait, so she made like hours and hours of content to get away with what, a couple $100 or something? Like, is that what the scam was?
No, not a couple $100.
Oh, was it a lot?
A lot.
What, 1,000, 2,000?
More.
No way.
More.
How much? I want to hear it. What's the number? 10? 15?
I think the number's closer to 6.
Oh, okay.
Like, was it like crowdfunded, like a GoFundMe type deal?
No, I think she was like seriously predatoring other up to 3K. Oh, thank you, Ducky. I'm way wrong.
Nice people.
Eric was closest without going over, so you win, Eric, because I was way off.
So just like nice people.
I think she was just taking money from mods and friends. What do you think, Ducky? I know Shenanigans, Tara over in Shenanigans, and Carrie Moody True Crime. They addressed it, but I didn't watch all of it, and I just kind of peeked, and it looked like a lot of people were upset. Like
wow.
Yeah. And it's upsetting. Like there was something around the lines of maybe sending like a bill to ask somebody to help her pay a bill, like the same bill to multiple people, so they could.
Oh my god!
Yeah. And you know what? This is all me. You know, this is all third party type stuff. We're just talking about gossipy things that we've heard about another creator, but it's disappointing because she seemed like she was gonna she seemed like she had some good gossipy things to throw at other creators, but at the same time,
yeah, that was her act though, getting people to like her by doing that people wouldn't do. And
good point. Get people
to like you, and then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, can you send me like $200 because my
Well, if I ever get around to it, like you guys know, I've been kind of like wrapped up in my own shit, but if I ever get around to it, I'll like go through my emails of what she said to me, because she was like kind of along the lines of like, I'm just a single mom, I'm disabled, I don't make money from YouTube, but this is like a passion project because I don't like scammers.
And I don't no.
Yeah, like that's basically like what she said to me. And I was just like, I kind of glossed over it because I've been a mod in a lot of channels, and like literally part of where they all go in that direction where they're all like, like I'm disabled. They're all disabled somehow. And they all like want $20. Like that's basically like their whole gig. So that's why I thought, oh, okay, well, she's just doing what everybody's doing. But okay, that's crazy. That's weird. 6,000 or 3,000 or whatever it is.
And I've been sitting on my ass disabled for a month and a half too. Huh?
Literally, nobody's giving you.
Where's
is anybody giving you? Eric
$20?
hasn't asked me for any money, actually. Now that you said that, Eric, you haven't asked any of us for any money yet. I'm very disappointed in you.
Yeah, let's put it out there.
I'm disabled.
Yeah. GoFundMe. We'll GoFundMe.
Eric popped a bicep.
Yeah.
trying to keep up with the Kardashians.
That's
Do you see this, Ashley? She had 15 aliases, possibly.
Why though? Like that's so much work. Like think about it. Like think about all the work that you have to do to be like a scammer like that. Like like the Tinder swindler or something like that.
Yeah,
it's like
totally.
Like do like that seems like a hard scam. Like honestly, I'm just not gonna lie. Like if I was gonna scam somebody, I would come up with something so easy. Like I would not do it like that. Like that seems like a really time consuming. She made how many videos too? She should be doing that like 24/7. She was probably making like minimum wage as a scammer.
You're right, exactly.
That's actually really funny.
Like literally.
You don't get paid very much on YouTube, so yeah, it probably wasn't that much, even though she made a lot of videos. But if she even was monetized, I don't even know. But I mean,
she didn't even make a lot of videos. She made like a couple of videos about Betty and a couple.
I thought she made a ton of videos.
Seems like a lot, and then she had gone all the way back to Summer Wells too.
Yeah, she had met other ones too. Yeah, she had other ones before that, I thought.
I don't remember watching any of her videos. I don't think I did.
By the way, this totally wasn't a planned conversation. I just
we didn't plan this conversation.
I'm a nosy Nelly.
That's good. That's how we roll. We just roll.
Yeah. I knew Ducky knew some stuff about it too, but I haven't gotten to follow like any YouTube, and I just want to like know what was going on.
Well, there's so much happening right now, but like we probably aren't even following half of it.
Right. We're just getting like as much as we possibly can. Yeah.
Yeah, like we dip our toes into the cases that we kind of got sucked into.
Mm-hmm. I got a lot on Maura Murray though.
Oh yeah. Oh man, that case is so wild.
Where are we starting tonight? What's on the roll call for tonight?
Well,
you want to pick? What do you pick?
I got a bunch of videos on a lot of people. I have a quick video on Luigi that I pulled up for Ducky. We'll throw in there at some point in time. And then I was thinking, recently, as in today, all those Kohberger files came, or all those.
Yeah. Sophie dropped 50 terabytes on me today.
Oh my God.
There was barely a quarter of a terabyte, but I was dropping the files in Discord, so I get off my phone. I was like, dang.
You know what I want to start with?
What?
23andMe went bankrupt.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, Eric, that's wild.
So if anybody needs DNA, I got it like quarter price.
We do all love Luigi, Mr. Mandala, and Ducky, and me and Ashley and Eric. Maybe you like Luigi?
Yeah, I like Luigi.
Yeah,
I do. I love his outfit choices.
Pre-prison, or are we talking about jumpsuit colors?
When he goes and does his little meetings at court, and he wears his he's got kind of Menendez brother style.
Oh,
say.
So like nice clothing, nice suits.
Oh yeah. I love it.
Yeah, those guys dress nice. Mm-hmm.
There's rumors that he makes porn videos too.
Can't find any though. I looked. I mean, there was a suggestion, like that was out there. So it was suggested to me, and I looked, and you can only look at like being like 4chan, like those like junk internet.
You're looking in the wrong spots. I know where to look. Let's
put Eric loose on that one.
I know. I should have just gone to like Instagram or whatever.
I didn't even think of it. No, it's not even that. I know it. You're way off.
TikTok?
No.
Where do I find these? Where do I find the videos?
X hamster.
Is that what it's called? There's a thing called X hamster.
What?
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, that will be your assignment.
I'm gonna bring up our screen right now. I'm just kidding.
All right, next show. Next show.
Next show.
I'm gonna title it X Hamster. Be a hamster with a little basketball.
We might get shut down now.
Kohberger and basketball. Does anybody know where that came from? Do our subs understand how funny that is and why?
Subs, we were excommunicated from another channel. And then the other people were told that we left to watch basketball. Talk about Kohberger.
And Kohberger.
Well, we left a channel. We left a channel on purpose.
Exactly.
Yeah,
we left.
To cover like our reason for all being gone, when people were like, "Hey, why are these people gone?"
Yeah.
The host said, "Oh yeah, like they're focusing. They went back to Kohberger and basketball." And we're like, "We did what?"
Yeah. So clearly we did that, and we were like, "What?"
So good.
And it's actually Kohberger and basketball season right now.
And so, in conclusion,
we've come full circle.
It brings us to a year. We're almost we're over a year anniversary of being out of work mods. We haven't got paid a mod penny.
Nope.
Yeah. What did Casey used to call it? She used to say we were Walmart greeters. She's like, we need to get out of here. She's like, this is the worst job I've ever had. I feel like we're Walmart greeters. I was like, oh shit, we were
totally Walmart greeters. That's so funny. That was the best way to put it too.
But it was fun because we got to meet lots of people,
but I loved it.
We hooked up with each other, so that worked out well for us.
Yeah, and I loved it. And I never felt like a Walmart greeter. I never had that feeling. I knew what she meant though. I knew what she meant, and it was more of like just doing what you do as a mod. But I felt like I didn't feel that way because I was on panel most of the time. So I was
working for someone who don't respect you.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
The funniest thing about being a mod is when the hosts get mad if you're not there, and you're literally not being paid. They go live whenever they want, and then they're like, "Why are you not here?" It's like, because I'm living.
Yeah,
because I have to go do all those other things I do in a 24-hour.
Our host was doing like 15 hours a day.
That one was crazy. Yeah.
Getting shot.
Oh man. I just took a heavy breath when you said that. At the time, I was like, "What?
Oh my God.
Did it happen? Did it happen? Did that just happen?" I was
You
like,
know what's so funny is when that happened, I was asleep. It was like one of my night shifts or whatever, so I was asleep. And
Okay, because it's daytime.
I got a message from Rach because Rach used to watch in the back because she knew we were all there and she wanted to, like, it's Rach. And she's like, I think so and so's getting shot. I was like, what? I was half asleep. I'm like, I gotta wake up for this.
Yeah. I was awake. My favorite part of that, and I don't remember which person in the comments was like, "Are you laughing?" And I was like, "Well, I'm nervous laughing, and I'm sorry because I do a nervous laugh, but it was like not funny, haha." And I was like, I feel really bad that person. And then I was like, no, I get it. They got it. And all the people that we chatted with though were like super nice. And I get it because we were like talking to people like daily. I get it.
Oh, they were always nice unless someone made them not nice.
Yeah, well. You mean God? Just kidding. All right, shouldn't make God jokes. All right, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna go to church with Margaret to repent for that. I'll go to church.
Luigi.
Yeah, Luigi. I'll have Luigi take me in there. We're all underworked and overpaid. I'm just gonna leave that on the screen. Just kidding. Okay, so should we talk about the Kohberger docs because that's wild to me.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Because they're gonna like some of the stuff that came out. Like one of my favorite ones is there could be more suspects. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my favorite one. And Kathy covered it. You guys want to watch Kathy's video?
Let's do it.
Let me find it. Oh,
we love Kathy.
She's kind of the best, and it's funny because she's so darn professional. You know?
Yeah, she's good.
Like she really knows what she's talking about. I love it. It's incredible. Let me see. Make sure I have the right video. But she covers every single doc, you guys. That's the important part.
She does it quick too.
Oop, she does. Let's see here. Am I on the screen? There we go. I don't know. After the computer froze earlier, I'm like, okay. I could still hear Eric and Ashley talking, but I couldn't do anything. It was
stop clicking my pen.
Yeah, pen clicking. All right, let's do this. If I can figure out how to push play. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone. My name is Kathy. Over the course of the past several weeks, we, the public, have been finally privy to so much information that has been under seal in the case styled as Idaho versus Kohberger that is beginning to shed light on what the respective sides' positions are. Now we see yet some more information that the defense has, not one, not two, but supposedly many alternative perpetrators that they intend to provide offers of proof. That's evidence in the case. We learn this in defendant's objection to the state's motion in limine regarding alternative perpetrator evidence. This is filed March 17th, 2025, and we continue to encourage you to please look at the docket, look at the information that is in the official court filings so that you can see what this future jury will be privy to, because this is what these motions in limine are for. It's both sides that are largely asking Judge Hippler to make pretrial orders as to what and will not be admitted into evidence at trial. This is why these motions are so crucial. But let's look at what the defense is telling us here. in their objection to the state's motion in limine concerning alternative perpetrator evidence. Comes now Bryan C. Kohberger, by and through his attorneys of record, and hereby objects to the state's motion in limine regarding alternative perpetrator evidence. This motion, ladies and gentlemen, was filed back on February 21st, 2025. And what a motion is: application for a court order. Judge Hippler, we want you to enter a ruling prohibiting the mentioning of these alternative perpetrators. The state has said that this should be kept out of the case. Defense is coming back now and trying to convince the judge to deny that motion, not to enter an order, not to give the state what they're looking for here. Why? Well, first they say here, more specifically, the state seeks an order preventing, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kohberger from, quote, offering alternative perpetrators, end quote, evidence or argument without first satisfying the court that any such alternative perpetrators apparently exist.
Come on.
Now, this seems
the same thing in KarenRead case.
A reasonable thing to ask for.
Yep, totally.
You just can't go out there and come up with unsupported theories at trial that someone planted the sheath or that there's alternative perpetrators without some type of proof. Well, the defense wants the opportunity to give that proof for the court not to make this ruling just yet. The state has chosen to focus on Mr. Kohberger at its own peril.
Yeah.
Mr. Kohberger will produce offers of proof related to many alternative perpetrators in this case that will meet Idaho rules of evidence 401, 402, 403. So you just can't have an offer of proof. It's got to comply with what the evidentiary rules say to try to keep out junk from actual evidence from getting into the case. This is where they now say, quote, many alternate perpetrators can be connected to the crime, end of quote. In their conclusion, the court should deny the state's motion in limine regarding alternative perpetrator evidence. Alternatively, the court should reserve ruling on this motion until Mr. Kohberger provides an offer of proof that can be evaluated under the standard of admissibility set out in State versus Meister. So this is the Idaho Supreme Court case, 2009, that explains the rule. What is it what is the standard, the legal standard for admissibility of evidence? Give Mr. Kohberger an opportunity, Judge, is what they're saying here, to provide an offer of proof that meets this legal standard. It's dated the 17th of March, 2020. We now await to see the state side of things, because what briefings are, whenever you see briefings in limine means the originating motion, the response and opposition, and then the reply. The reply is where the state comes back and has the last word here. They can't re-argue their entire motion. All they can do, or they're supposed to do, is reply to this response in opposition right here. That's what a reply brief is supposed to do. Sometimes if things are pushed, the envelope is pushed a little bit. They're not supposed to do that. They're supposed to just limit their argument and whatever legal authority, if they're going to oppose what Mr. Kohberger is saying here, in the reply. And then ultimately, these matters are coming before Judge Hippler. Next hearings that are scheduled in the case as of right now, April 9th and 10th, 2025. That's when oral argument on all of these motions in limine are going to be heard. And then Judge Hippler will make his rulings. This will now conclude this episode of the Indie Zone. My name is Kathy. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, well, thank you, Kathy.
Thanks, Kathy. She's so good. What do you think, you guys? Let's watch.
I got a couple names.
Just a couple?
Well, I mean, a couple that I could probably back. Well, I mean, I don't know if I got Eric Gower, the rideshare driver. He took Kaylee and Maddie home. Gower's a 30-year-old guy who I don't know, drives college kids home when they're wasted.
He's 30?
Yeah, that seems like a weird choice.
He had a pregnant wife. And he also supposedly was he have pictures of girls on like Facebook walking home from the college or something. Like somebody had when they I guess checked them out, they found that, and he also has a Pinterest with all weapons on it.
What? Oh yeah, he did. I remember that. He has like a huge knife collection. Huge, like I said that to you guys. I know people.
Oh, and
I don't know anybody with a knife collection. Nobody.
After the murders, he stopped working for 2 weeks and took some time off.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, out of regret. I mean, because he was sad.
I don't know why. I thought that was a little sus.
Yeah, it is. That is sus. That's really interesting. Tell us your next suspect.
No, wait, no. His wife works for the police department.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh, sorry. There's more.
He's like an administrator at Idaho University also.
He is. Yeah, I heard that. But what is? He's just. I guess we don't know exactly what that means.
I mean, if you're an administrator at a university, why are you a private driver? Maybe because you're a pervert. Maybe, I don't know.
Because the original story, because you're Ashley. The original story was that he was a older guy and had somebody in his family had been passed away in a drunk driving accident. Correct? That was what we.
You know what?
Huh?
That was Eric Grower. This is Eric Gower. They had the wrong name with that. I'm glad you brought that up. Said he was Eric Grower was a 60-year-old man. This is Eric Gower.
Grower.
He fit the, he's a rideshare driver, so he's the guy. But in the beginning, it came out as Grower, so I'm glad you brought that up because I knew about that.
Yeah, was he in the same town, Mr. Grower and Mr. Gower? Were they both driving in the same town?
No, I don't think Grower was a driver. I think they just got his name and they looked into him and found out he wasn't a driver.
Oh, gosh. They just saw this Eric Grower and I guess they went with it.
Yeah, and he worked for the school, so he made a lot more sense. Oh, and the other guy was Cole Beringberger.
Oh.
He supposedly lived like around the block from.
I don't think anybody was sober, Ducky. I don't think any
1122.
Sorry.
Oh no, he lived around the block from 1122, and he was actually tested for DNA when they found one under Maddie's fingernails.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they did test more people. That was a myth that nobody else got tested. There's no other.
I think they tested everything, and that's how we even know that there is the DNA,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how could they tell it was male DNA? That's the part that I thought was funny. Like you just look at blood and
it's probably X and Y chromosome stuff.
Well, I know, but under a microscope as a scientist, not you and I looking at some blood on a banister, not like, dude, that's clearly from a man.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh,
so this guy was in the army and he was a culinary artist. So everybody's assuming that he's really good with a knife, which
who are we talking about? Enon?
Oh no, this is Cole Berenberger, the guy who lives around the block.
Also, where did he work in town?
No, they didn't say anything about where he worked. He's like 31 years old. Actually, he worked at I think he might have worked at like a sports store that sold knives too.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you heard of that Big Five or something.
Yeah, we have Big Five Sports here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where he worked. But I don't know if he worked there currently, but he was in the army. And the thing is that he was a culinary artist, so everybody thinks he's a master with a knife. But me being in the restaurant business, I don't think it doesn't mean you're good with a knife if you're a culinary artist. But.
I think that I don't know. I know a thing about culinary artists, and I'm going to say it.
I mean, if you're anything good in a restaurant, they call you a chef.
Well, yeah, actually, and everybody will just call you chef. They won't even call you by your name if you're that good. But I don't know. I mean, like, it's not like 5-star restaurants in Moscow or like in Pullman, probably. It's just my guess. Maybe Coeur d'Alene, very possible. Exactly, Mr. Mandala. That's exactly what I was going to say, Eric.
Because got to be one or two.
Like, what's the big issue? Like, do they think the rideshare guy's going to be a witness?
No, Eric's just saying these are possible other suspects that the defense wants to. The defense wants to bring in possibly every story we've all told on the internet for the last
No, but he might be a witness now because he's in Dylan. Dylan called him at 2:15 the night of the murder, so he might be a witness now.
Did.
Yeah, she called him after he dropped Maddie and Kaylee off and asked him if he was driving.
Did you see that Embry video? She's getting dropped off at 4:19.
Yeah, those videos are. I mean, we can't see who it is, but they make sense.
But it's supposedly Gower's car. Like, I kind of just my assumption here is that Embry knows what he's talking about on that front. Like, he probably isn't going to present that. Just my guess.
I said, how does he find out what Gower's car is?
Well, I don't think it'd be that hard. I bet.
Where would you even start with that information?
I think you could search that. I think you could like figure it out. I think you can search it and like maybe all the internet stuff that you've searched, like all those things, or you could just find like an address, find a car registered to an address, maybe.
Yeah, but that's police work. You need to get somebody's license plate number. That's illegal.
Well,
you need a police person to do that. You got to get a license plate, and I mean, that's how it is in New York, anyway.
Well, yeah, I don't think maybe Idaho is just not as.
I think that's just everywhere. You can't just get somebody's fucking car.
You can't just find out who they are from their car. I agree with you. I agree with you because, like, if somebody hits you in their car and they drive off, you got to hear
a quick story. The police came to my house. And the car I drive was registered to my dad's name just like years ago. And they were asking where I was. And he's like, why? He's like, his car's here. He's like, that's my car. And so they must have been following me or something, so they knew it was my car. But it was registered to my dad's name, and they didn't even know that. And they were cops.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is weird. My college car was registered to my parents, and anytime I got a parking ticket, they got it mailed to them.
So the car thing's been like a huge deal for everybody. Like I know Sarge well, we follow him. He used to be a guest a lot on Dagos and like lots of different channels. Tom, he started off with Thou Shalt Not Kill True Crime as like a regular, right? It was like him, Tommy, all those guys, right? But like his big thing is the vehicle, right? And his big thing is that they originally said it was what was the original year that they said that the car was, and then they
2017.
Okay, 2017, and then it turns out it's a 13. Is that
11?
The 2011. Okay, so the body is totally different. Like he's a crazy big car guy, right? Hold on, I'll just finish my thought and then you can. So he's a crazy big car guy, right? And he like gets really into the details because it's like part of his the way his brain works. It's just to focus in on details so hard. And he always says that that's like a huge reason why he doesn't believe that it's Kohberger is because the car doesn't match. And we were originally told, if you guys remember right in the beginning, right in the beginning, they said the car is like the main piece of evidence.
Right.
And the main thing that they're following. And for them to get that so wrong was such a red flag to him specifically. I think what's the red flag for me with the car is the lack of evidence inside the car. Because I feel like there would be something, but would we know? Would that have come out? I don't know. I mean, I have that question still, like if we have all that information.
I don't think we've seen anything in the docs about in his car.
Yeah.
But
And I
people
gotta
said there
go
was nothing in there.
yeah.
But I mean, but who knows? Dylan's statements aren't just the same, and nothing's the same.
Right. Nothing has been the same that's been released. This from what we heard before. But I brewing up my own theories anymore, and I'm going with Embry.
That car theory is totally right, though. They screwed up the year. They changed it.
They had the cars all wrong, and they
Uh-huh.
I don't know if they purposely BS people or whatever. I don't know like what exactly the reasoning for giving us all the like false information, or if that false information was just given to, and I'm going to say us in air quotes, as a community of true crime people somehow, and none of it was ever real. Like, where did we get that initial information? Was News Nation on it? And we were like, yeah, News Nation knows. And they were just going on like gossip.
Are you talking about when they first came out with like the description of the vehicle?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they got that crazy video from the gas station.
Right.
And then they did a press conference, and they gave us a window of the vehicle. Now, then there was that one Elantra that was found abandoned, and that was a huge red herring. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
There was
in Eugene. It was in Eugene or Bend. It was over in Oregon. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And everyone got so excited, and then they like instantly were like, "No, that's not it."
Yeah. They're definitely not it. Even though it seems like it still could be part of it if it was anything to do with it, but it almost doesn't seem necessary. To have, you know what I mean? Like there's a point made by, and maybe it was Jamboree, about how there's like a big river right there that they pulled a car out of. That they put, and I'm like, could have just gotten rid of the car, like, right? You know what I mean? A lot quicker, and the car, whatever, could have sat there for a while.
Can I ask like basic questions of you guys? Do you guys think that, are you guys leaning towards guilt or innocence for Kohberger?
I'm leaning towards innocence.
Really?
I'm leaning towards guilt.
Yeah. I think that knife sheath, I think that Bryan's, when he gets up on the stand, is going to have to admit he's been doing the drugs, and he's going to have to be like, I was at my buddy's house and I bought some drugs, and I traded my $90-something knife for some drugs, and then I took them drugs and I drove out to Wawawi Park where I said I was going, and I turned my phone off and I gazed at the stars as I spaced out or did whatever the drugs choice he preferred, whatever he purchased. You know, like that's, and then I think that was that knife. I think that's how that knife sheath got there. That's my opinion. Maybe it's not the same, and that's why he was there that day. That's why his car drove by so many times. You got to wait till like the drug dealer answers or says they're home, or you're just like, I'm over here. So like, are you ready? Can I come get some drugs? Is the drugs ready?
Is that how it always sounds like? I'm ready. Can you come get some drugs?
I hope so.
No,
I'm ready.
Don't
the drugs
like
ready?
that.
Grover
Don't sound like that.
Oh, come on, Eric. Tell us how it sounds.
It's legit. I mean, it depends who's selling it. When I did,
I'm kidding. I'm joking. We know it doesn't sound like that.
That's
I'm just saying for real. Like he'd be like texting and be like, "Hey man, like, are my drugs ready?" And be like,
so,
"Want
to hear my theory?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
I think he was involved,
Mm-hmm.
and he gave that guy that knife for collateral, or he gave it to him for drugs. But they were like, he was probably buying drugs from that guy. And the guy's like, "Yo, I might need your help."
True.
And I think Bryan thought, I'm a PhD in criminology. I'll get away with this. So, I'll make up the plan.
Mm-hmm.
And he was part of it. But that's what I think. But I think the reason they did it is like, I have the motive. It's because of it's too much of a coincidence that two of the people in the house, parents, were in jail and got out of jail with, who had big charges and they got out of jail with like nothing, and people got busted right after that, and I just think it was a hit.
Yeah, I
The
do
other two
too.
will call out in the wrong place at the wrong time. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Yeah, I think the ninja is the neighbor. That's what I'm thinking. I'm leaning. I think the ninja is the neighbor, Ducky. When she got home and she sees a guy in a black mask, whatever, and he's got a vacuum, no other cars drive away. Where's the guy with the? What is that? What is the guy with the vacuum?
That's Slocum, right?
Is that him? Where's he go with the vacuum? He doesn't leave it at the house. So when he walks down the hill and he like goes in the bushes and he changes clothes or does whatever, is there a vacuum in his hands?
I mean, I don't know how it was done or like any of that stuff, but I did hear that they think they were in they had an apartment next door that they went into after everything was done. Like,
Yeah.
but I mean, that's just another
I mean, they
speculation.
don't even need technically if that ninja person didn't exist, where there's nobody else there, because that seems weird. I feel like they could have. It could. It's so there's so many possibilities, and even getting evidence makes even getting the evidence makes it seem even more possible for all these other things to have happened. That if she's able to present any of them, present any of this in court. I mean, like people came up with bizarre things, but people also came up with some stuff that's like very quite possible,
You know what
right?
else I think he's guilty is because she's reaching for the stars. She's been since day one trying to get rid of the death penalty, trying to get rid of evidence. Like if he's innocent, there should be no evidence. Like why are you trying to get rid of stuff? Like I mean, that's where I think he's guilty.
Well, she's got to do everything she's got to do as a defense
Not if he's
attorney.
innocent. If
Do you
he's
know what I
innocent,
think?
I wasn't
You
there.
want to
Yeah,
know what
let's hear
I
it.
think?
Yes, yes.
I'm trying to, and this is new for me because like I started off, you guys know I started off like watching the T-Rev channel, and then I went to like Dago's community, Tommy's community. Like I was modding and pretty active in all those like communities where like he was fully innocent, right? Like everybody was on the innocent thing. And then,
Mhm.
of course, I've taken a step out of the Idaho because it just wasn't interesting anymore. Like the theories were just getting too much, too crazy, too out of control, too repetitive. The communities wasn't fun anymore because everyone was just bored. So then they'd fight with each other, and that was really stupid. So now, like that, I've spent more time like following other crimes. I've seen that like for the majority, and I'm not gonna put KarenRead in that bucket. I'm definitely not because that's the one that sticks out to me, and everybody is completely different.
Yeah.
But I do think that like once law enforcement like really, really actively can hone in on something and be like, this is the just wait, we have the answer, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he has a level of guilt. I'm not sure if there's extra people or what, but I think it's going to be a lot like in the Alec Murdoch case where we got that Snapchat video like during the
Oof.
trial,
Oof.
right? And
Yeah.
there's like, you know, there's a smoking gun, right?
Yeah.
Like there's gonna be something that makes it ties it all together. Because right now
Yeah.
we've got maybe 50%, 40% of
Yeah.
the evidence.
Well, there's
And
like
what I've
hundreds
been
of
trying to
terabytes.
do, yeah, like what I've specifically been trying to do is cancel out the noise because a lot of people have focused on the roommates and their actions not making sense. And while I agree that they don't make sense, I also think they were never suspects. Like most police departments are not out to get people. They're just not, especially a small little podunk thing like, you know, Moscow, right? Like they're going to try to find somebody that is actually guilty. And certainly the roommates being in the proximity of the murders would make a lot of sense. So they would have been looked into heavy, and all the Jacks and all those people, you know, like heavy, they were looked into. And Steve says that too. And I know people don't like Steve, but like he
Oh, I like.
has, he, they don't like him. They just like dunk on him all the time on all the um the pro Kohberger channels.
I actually have a Steve video.
Well, and Steve he's the father of a dead kid. Like,
Yeah.
give me a break. Like, even if he's not likable, he's not really supposed to be likable. He's not involved. He doesn't have he is confident from what he's seen. And don't forget, he also hired his own private investigator. And he's confident they have the right person. He was not confident in the Moscow Police Department in the beginning, but now he is. And I just feel like we need to reserve judgment, cancel out the noise about the roommates, because I think that's going to be noise. They're not suspects for whatever reason. I think they have a lot of the evidence because of them. Maybe that's something that helped out a lot, is the fact that they were awake and going bananas. Like, maybe they collected evidence and we don't even realize that they weren't trying to, but they did, by chit-chatting and having all these apps open and trying to
I don't
connect
think they
with.
were home.
Yeah, and see, there's a lot of theories, but whatever's going to come out, it's going to be clear, in my opinion. And then I think Bryan's going to take a plea. I think he's going to take a plea because the evidence is going to be stacked. That's what I think.
Yeah. And that's what I thought about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I could say. I mean, I think he'll probably take a plea too. But if he wants they want to get rid of the death penalties. They're really big on that.
Why bring up his autism if it's a non-issue and they can prove that he's not guilty, or not even prove that he's not guilty, because that's not the level that they have to prove. Is they just have to poke holes in the case. Like, you don't have to talk about his autism,
You're right. Yeah.
I think it's worth bringing up as a defense attorney. I think it's 100%. I think it's 100%. It's interesting because you guys would be like average jurors, and I think that both of you think that's negative, and I think it's 100% I think she definitely has to bring that in.
What? If you're innocent, you don't get the death penalty, right?
Let's see what yeah, exactly. Well, let's see.
So then you don't got to bring it up.
A lot of people have been convicted of murder that were not guilty. A whole lot. Like, you can't, a lot of people convicted and given the death penalty. You know that today they, LA County, or LA, I guess, they reinstated the death penalty, California, over in LA County.
I just watched one, Amanda Knox.
Yeah, see? What about Karen?
Yeah, no, yeah, but.
The ballerina?
Yeah,
we see a lot of these things.
That was a different case. No, I know, but
yeah, they're all different cases. But the Alfred plea is to be expected. I agree, Ducky, and Ashley. I agree. I agree with that. That is what his attorney's going for. I don't know what she could go for if they don't have enough evidence to disprove all the evidence that the prosecutors have. I don't know what they have on either side, really. I want to see him on the stand, though. I want to see it.
Having someone buy it too nice.
Taking the stand, do you think that's reasonable?
I do think
they're trying to get ahead of him like being so unlikable by saying that he doesn't know how to hold his face. He doesn't react properly. So taking the stand is kind of like a last ditch thing. Like Alec Murdoch chose to take the stand because he thought that he was that convincing and likable.
Yeah, he wasn't very likable. I feel like that's the thing, though. Like, maybe that's part of the defense. Bring him up there, show that he is kind of awkward. Mm-hmm. Try to present him as awkward and likable.
One of the motions today was his alibi, and he has to go on the stand to say his alibi.
That's my favorite one. And that's
So how does he do that, and we still think that he's innocent? Like, that's not very innocent. He doesn't have a good alibi.
No, he has a terrible alibi.
That was actually the biggest letdown. That was one of my biggest reasons why I was like, wait a second here. Because we were all led to believe that once we heard the alibi, he should be let out.
For sure.
Remember
like that? It was going to be good.
Yeah. I think he has to have like 6 like records of his phone being turned off with within like 3 hours, 2 hours of that time, like 6 times
Mhm.
to show a pattern. That's what he does, and his phone has to be off, and he has to be at that point. Like that's what I think. If that's his habit,
What makes you pick 6?
because it's got to be a lot.
Well, I would just assume it would be all the time.
It's
I mean,
his
like, I bet
magic
I would assume there'd be more than that. Is kind of what I would think. But he's not lived there that long. It's kind of the thing too. And I've never heard of Wawi Park, Mr. Mandala. Have you ever been there? Is it frequented by people from the university to go exercise in the Wawi Park? There's a good question to ask.
Mawawi.
I kept pronouncing it wrong. I think that's right. It's Wawawi.
Yeah, it's cute.
If you had a dog or something, it would be believable. But
If what?
if
Oh,
you had
yeah,
a dog, maybe you could believe it,
you.
but not at 3 a.m.
I pass people. I go in the summertime, you guys, when it's super hot. I go early in the morning, and I pass tons of people without pets.
I was always told that anybody out after 2 a.m. is not up to any good.
And then, this is like 4 or 5 in the morning, huh?
You ever take money out of an ATM at 2 a.m?
Mr. Mandala went to school there at U of I. Not yet, Kevin. Or not yet. Sorry, Eric. I was looking at the thing. Mr. Mandala says he's never heard of a Wawi Park. You see that?
Really? You never heard of it either, and you live there?
Yes, he went to school there.
I know, but I'm saying,
weird.
I thought it was common. Like everybody heard of it.
I've never heard of it, but I live, 5.5 hours away from it. Whatever. I don't live close. I mean, I'm going to go exercise, tell you all the parks in my area, but I'm not. But see, there's arboretums there.
Interesting.
And then, but that's not a place to run, right, Mr. Mandala? Like, so if you had known people who were like exercising, that's what I mean. Like an arboretum is some place to go hang out, right?
Wasn't it stargazing?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, that is true. That's a great point. That's actually a better point, Eric, because I actually would buy the running, turn your phone off thing more than I would buy the stargazing in your car, turning your phone off.
I think if you're running, like, well, I can only speak as a woman, but I would never turn my phone off if I was running because it's so fucking dangerous.
Yes.
And like, I would, like, most runners have like a little pack that goes on your arm. Like I jog with my dog and I do run with her, but like in a very like urban area, like on the seawall.
Cool.
And I like to track my steps. I like to know my heart rate. Like runners do have like a reasonable reason to have like, typically, especially if he's been doing it a while, most runners are tracking things like heart rate, speed, time, and it would just be weird to turn your shit off. Like, but also if he's stargazing, it was a cloudy night that night.
Right. Like, yeah, but
he had Stratus app, which is a running app on his phone. That was said. Stratus.
Okay. And me and you do steps, right? Like, so we're always tracking, right? Does it even make sense to turn your shit off when you know that you're going to be doing your exercises? Like,
never. Nope.
It should be the opposite, right?
No.
I fear my phone's going to like die and I'm going to lose steps some days. I do. I really do.
I know, because we're into it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, me and Eric try and get to 20K every day, but some days we fall short, but for the most part, we're pretty good.
Yeah. And
that's a lot of steps.
It's fun. We enjoy it. And
yeah, we've got a whole like area where we try and dunk on each other.
Yeah, but we're egging you on because I think it's awesome.
I mean, when was the last time you guys turned your phone off?
Like never.
Like I know. That's what I'm saying.
If a dude told me he was turning his phone off, I would instantly think he was lying.
You're like, oh, you're gonna set it down? What?
I'm just gonna be so for real right now. Like, people do not turn their phones off. You can put it on do not disturb. Do not disturb is like most of my friends who do like where they sleep at strange times, like me, for example, or like my girlfriends that go to sleep early and like are trying to like live by like ignore text or something like that. There is a function where you can do not disturb. Why not just turn your phone on to do not disturb?
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. Or like I can't, the only things I could think of, like if my phone's too new. My phone doesn't, I don't need to do it, but my last phone, wasn't really that old, but apparently every once in a while it burped and I had to turn it off and turn it back on. And it worked fine again.
But you know what's worse? He turns it on he turns it off when the murders happen, and he turns it on after they happen. It's like the timing is so fucking wrong.
The timing, come on. Like you got to think too about what are the chances. Like think about 4 things that have to do with this case that would be just crazy coincidences. First of all, we'll use the DNA, right? The DNA just being there. So that's like a main key coincidence, right? It could happen. It could for sure, especially touch DNA, right? But it's there, right? Then you got the fact that he's purchased a K-bar knife on Amazon, right? With a sheath, separately. Okay.
Yeah.
And then after the murders, it's disappeared. That knife is gone. And he is trying to buy a new one. I don't know how they knew that, but whatever. Also has an Elantra, a white Elantra. Like, what are the chances of all those things lining up? Like, if you were a betting person, like if you could put those odds into a computer and figure it out, what do you think the odds of all those coincidences would be?
Yeah, like 95% he did it.
Like, I'm genuinely curious about that.
Or he's like a really good patsy.
And you know why I say 6 times? Because I want to see 6 times that the phone's turned off and turned on in that time period.
Yeah. Right. That's why I wanted to see when they had that Linda Lane stuff. I was like, I want to see a week of that footage. I want to see all the people that pull in all of the times. I want to see what it looks like in a day. Who lives there, who pulls in where, who parks where every day in the same spot. I want to see what's unusual about that day. Not just that day. It doesn't make sense to just see that day.
Oh, you know what I wanted to ask? I don't remember seeing Dylan's truck in the driveway like when they showed it in the morning. Did anyone see that?
Did Dylan have a truck?
Yeah, that's what Pav says, a big truck.
No, the big truck is her boyfriend's, I thought. That's her truck?
That's what he said he was driving, didn't he?
Oh.
That's what I thought.
Her boyfriend?
I thought he said she had the truck and that's what she drove and that's where she went to the hotel, but maybe I'm wrong.
She was I thought she was getting dropped off by Eric Gower.
Yeah, then she jumped in a truck to go to the hotel, according to him. I mean, I don't know if I really that, but...
That's funny. Like, I'm too drunk to drive. Can you drive me home so I can get my car and drive back to the hotel?
Well, that guy don't make sense sometimes.
Well, yeah, some of those stories overlap a little bit, right? That's why I kind of like pick up the pieces. Like I don't know anything the whole time frame thing is wild to me, right? That the time frame totally changed. All the things changed with the.
Yeah, he matches it well, though. You know what I mean? Like he.
Oh yeah, no, he definitely matches. Are you talking about Embry or what?
Yeah. He's like that's what I'm talking about. When he says she gets in the truck, she drives this way, goes by Linda Lane, and I'm pretty sure he says the truck.
Does he show it? Does he have video of the truck?
Yeah, he shows it. He shows lights and everything. But I mean, on some videos, but then, I mean. But it's like, he's narrating it. So you're looking at it, listening to him. I mean, it could be something else. Like, you know what I mean? It's like you see these lights.
I thought you guys thought Jay Embry was full of shit.
We did, but he's got some decent videos lately. No, I did.
Well, here's the deal. I actually don't think he's full of shit. I just don't want to pay $5 to watch the private things that make me mad.
No, I mean, no, some of his stuff is.
But he does have some things that I don't flow with, and I'm just like, well, I live here, right? So some of the stuff's bullshit. Where I don't, where am I?
Like he doesn't know how Instagram works. He don't know how drug dealers work. He's like this and things like that.
He may miss out on how the drug dealers work. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Like the problem I have with certain channels is that they've had 20 different theories, and the theories have been so contradictory, it's hard to follow. Because if you throw enough darts at whatever, you're going to hit something, Maybe. And they've kind of overblown it. And so it makes me tune them out.
Right. It's tuning out the noise. I get it. And I get it because it seems like it makes the most sense to just stick with the actual court filings, right? But the more they come out, the more it makes it seem crazy. It seems crazier.
I think what's getting confusing is people are confusing like the roommate information with the fact that the roommates are involved. The roommates are not suspects and never have been.
Yeah.
We have to make a lot of mental leaps to think that we know better than the police and the FBI.
Well, yeah, and I definitely don't think we know better than the FBI.
I also think they were threatened. I mean, when you see someone's doing that to your roommates and they tell you, shut up, don't say a word, and don't leave the room till 12 o'clock. And
that could happen.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, that's what I'm
Very
saying.
easily.
That could happen. I mean, like, I think we're going to, because they were afraid to come back to Moscow. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot's going to come out at trial, a lot. And, I think there will be answers where things seem so fuzzy, and to fill it in with the 19-year-old girls are guilty of a heinous crime with no motive is really brutal to do online.
Yeah, exactly, definitely.
Oh yeah, that's wild. Yeah, no,
Everybody's there with everything was clean, but you know what I mean? Rooms are clean, everything.
That's what I thought was ridiculous about that's what I think is personally ridiculous about thinking that it would be fraternity boys.
Yeah.
I think that was ridiculous. I think you're talking about 118 or 17 to 22-year-old boys who are all getting together, get wasted, and somehow you think that this many people are going to create that big of a plan together, pull it off, and also, I don't know, that seems ludicrous to me. It just does not seem like that one seems the most ludicrous.
Especially when they're drinking all night.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody's going to fuck up somewhere.
Somebody's got to leave some DNA all over everything, right? Drunk guys. But yeah, do you guys want to talk about some of the other things we're talking about today?
Yeah.
Let's do it. KarenRead, right?
KarenRead, we love her. Sorry, but I watched the documentary. Eric watched the documentary. Ashley, did you guys see any of it?
I was sleeping, so I turned it on and it put me asleep, but I saw that Anti-Bev definitely shot down some of the motions, and it seemed like a good thing. So I was hoping you guys could fill me in on the main stuff.
Anti-Bev did good today.
Did she?
She legit did well. Yeah, she did right. Did by us today. She denied the motion to dismiss, which that stunk, of course.
I thought that was a trade-off for the other thing. No.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because she denied the let's see.
The Yannetti stuff and the Karen's they wanted Karen's phone talking to Yannetti about. You remember I told you about what I told you about last night?
Yep. She's not gonna get there. She's not gonna allow the text messages. She's not gonna allow any of the attorney-client privilege stuff into court, which is awesome. That's good. That's good.
Which means they can't put Yannetti up as a witness, so that's huge.
Let's see. I have a video. I was just searching for it. I have a video in here that was the breakdown, what happened today. Let's see.
Well, there's another thing. She didn't rule on the third suspect thing either. They want to try and bring in Higgins, Brian Higgins, and Colin Albert, but
Higgins wants to be so far. Sorry to interrupt. Higgins wants to be so far away from that shit. It's probably his worst nightmare to have to come back. I think he's so involved.
Mm-hmm.
They want to bring him in for that. They're trying to get those three guys as suspects.
Yeah.
She had a real ruling. She's like, well, when the trial starts, we'll see what goes on. It's weird what she said.
All right, I got it. Here we go.
Right.
Hitting and killing her boyfriend John O'Keefe with her SUV in a blizzard.
Hey, house.
Nothing to say.
All right, we'll see you on Tuesday.
All right, please.
More than 200 potential jurors have been summoned next Tuesday for the start of the trial. One issue still unresolved, the use of a third-party culprit defense.
There is ample evidence tending to show that somebody else caused John O'Keefe's death.
The defense wants to tell the jury that John O'Keefe was killed by someone else, pointing the finger of blame at Colin Albert, Brian Higgins, and Brian Albert, who owned the home where O'Keefe's body was found. Prosecutors say the defense arguments are feeble and without evidence.
It can't be based on fiction. It has to be based on an identifiable theory.
Last I ever talked to him when he got out of my car at Brian Albert's house.
A new documentary about Read has the attention of prosecutors. They're asking for permission to use portions of it during the trial.
This 5-part docuseries produces a number of statements from the defendant, many of them extraordinarily relevant.
Prosecutors failed to get phone records between Read and defense attorney David Yannetti, arguing she waived attorney-client privilege by giving media interviews. The judge shut them down.
I'm not going to give you this information, Mr. Brennan.
Not a big surprise, but Judge Cannoni late this afternoon rejected a defense request to dismiss the case entirely. In Dedham, John Maroney, NBC 10 Boston.
Let's bring in NBC 10 legal expert and dean at Massachusetts School of Law, Michael Coyne. Michael, another day, a lot of motions, but Judge Cannoni really only ruled on a few things in court, specifically a loss for the prosecution. They wanted access to a very narrow but communication between Yannetti, who is Karen Read's lawyer, and Karen Read. That's usually attorney-client privilege. Prosecution was saying, oh, but she erased that as soon as she started talking publicly about this one narrow lane they wanted to talk about. And Judge Cannoni said no. Just your thoughts on whether they should have and how hard that is to try to break that confidence.
It was a bit of a reach. I'm not surprised she denied it. She really should have. We protect the attorney-client privilege in Massachusetts to the greatest extent possible. We want clients to be able to communicate with their lawyers effectively, tell them the information, knowing that that information is taken beyond the grave. The attorney will not release that even beyond the client's grave. In Massachusetts, we have a clear decision in that regard.
All right, let's start where the day started, the third-party culprit defense. The Commonwealth does not want this to be allowed. Brennan says it is unrelated to the case and character assassination. The defense believes the evidence shows consciousness of guilt, and they point to Brian Albert, Colin Albert, and Brian Higgins. Has the defense made the argument to allow a third-party culprit defense?
They've made the argument. The question is, will they be able to establish an admissible foundation for the defense? And that's what they're really arguing about. Brennan is saying a lot of this is based on conjecture. It's based on character assassination. Where's the beef? What evidence specifically do you have to support A, that he was in the house, and B, that they had a motive and the means to kill him?
Is it a high bar?
It's not a high bar. Massachusetts encourages the use of the defense, but there has to be some factual basis through admissible evidence. And I think that's what the court's likely to do here, is to say they can present it as long as they provide the proper foundation first. And so they may not, again, be able to use it in their opening statement.
I'm going to put a really quick pressure on you because we don't have a lot of time, but what is the difference of naming them as third-party culprits? Because didn't we all get the understanding they were saying it without saying it in the first trial?
Yeah, I do think it was a lot more subtle this time, but what Brennan is forcing them to do is you can't just do it subtly. You've got to provide the evidence, the support for it, because otherwise it's just leading the jury astray.
Okay, Michael, thank you. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with you in a moment. As mentioned in John Maroney's report, Karen Read's comments in that docuseries, which debuted last week, is having a potential impact on the second trial. I spoke with the executive producer of A Body in the Snow, The Trial of Karen Read. She offered her thoughts on Karen Read's guilt or innocence and efforts to fight bias from seeping into the project.
And the challenge was having so much footage to go through and really trying to make a balanced presentation, not come into it with any bias. We knew that it would be airing before the second trial, and that was really important that we try and do the best we could to present both sides of the case as balanced in in as balanced a way as we could.
In your work, John O'Keefe certainly was not forgotten. You spent a lot of time talking about who he was. I assume that was an intentional choice. And now that you've put it all together, what's your sense of the kind of person he was?
Yeah, we made a very concerted effort to try and keep John as a presence in this documentary, because I really do feel that he's gotten lost in all of the noise around the case. And so that was very intentional. In fact, I wish we could have included even more. By all accounts, he was a good cop. He was a great dad to his kids, or his sister's kids, and just an all around good guy. It's such a tragedy that he's no longer with us. I actually said to someone the other day, I wish I could have met him. I feel like I know him now, but I wish I could have met him. I think it would have been a pleasure.
Tara, you've spent an enormous amount of time with KarenRead. Did you form your own opinion on her guilt or innocence?
No, we tried to go in and be as objective as we could. That was our job. There was so much I didn't know about the case when we started, because we started so quickly. So we were getting caught up. And as the defense was putting together their strategy, we were starting to understand more about what the prosecution strategy was, because you can't have a defense without the prosecution. That's why we had to present both sides. But no, we've really tried through this process to just keep an open mind. It's the jury's decision.
All episodes of A Body in the Snow, the trial of KarenRead, are available now to stream on Max. Investigation Discovery says.
Are we running an ad for Max? What do you guys think?
I'm pro Karen, but I thought it was a bad idea to put that video.
Yeah, you watched all of it, right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say much, but I think it was a bad idea.
Yeah, because it didn't put her in the best light. Ashley, you're muted.
So I didn't watch any of the documentary, but because we don't get what the same thing happened when they did the Idaho documentary. It wasn't available in Canada. Yeah, which is weird. Like we don't get certain stuff that you guys get. So I tried to see if it'll probably be available on YouTube at some point. Someone always leaks it, and then it lasts like a day. Excuse me. But I think that it was a poor choice to do a documentary, because let's just say this: less is more. It's like talking to the cops. You can have nothing to hide, right?
Yeah.
But that's why lawyers tend to say nothing, call me, don't talk. And they're not even always guilty people, but they always say don't talk to the cops, because they have a way of turning around what you're saying and making it fit the narrative.
Yeah, totally. I watched some of those scenes, Ducky, but I watched a little bit of the thing also. But it did seem, Ashley, like you're saying, like you're right, maybe not the best idea. It's kind of weird because Yannetti's in it.
Yeah, and they had to have known it was going to put a target on Yannetti. I mean, they know the law. They know that if he says something of interest, he can be called as a witness.
Yeah, totally.
I think they might have wanted to get the police corruption out. I mean, that's the only logical thing I could see, because they did go big into the police corruption and that part of the Boston and.
Sure, and and Proctor's gone. The head.
Yeah, they went into that too. So stuff. I don't think you get the court lets you go crazy about that kind of stuff. Calling cops corrupt, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, they don't like that. Yeah, the court doesn't like that for sure. I did have an update on BlakeLively.
Oh.
Yeah, I got some stuff on her too.
Yeah, I heard about that.
You want to watch a little video?
Candace Owens been on her bumper for a really long time.
Who has?
Candace.
Oh God, that's funny.
Peter did it too.
I found just a little short clip from News Nation about her.
I think her Achilles heel is going to be her friendship with Taylor Swift.
You think so?
Big time. Because Taylor will get dragged into court, and Taylor, the last thing she wants is to be involved in this. That's why her power machine has gone out and said, we're not involved, we didn't know, we feel used. And I think Taylor's going to push her to drop it all.
And that's his argument, that she's so powerful she can do it. Like, her and her husband and, you know, her friends are so powerful that they can ruin him.
Well,
could they ruin him, or are they ruining themselves?
If in Discovery it comes out that Taylor was a bitch, right? And Taylor was trying to call shots, Taylor's not going to want that. So she's going to push Blake to just drop it and settle. That's what I think.
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
Because, like, why would Taylor want to be? She would have to be part of Discovery. Taylor doesn't want it. She has a squeaky clean image and has since the beginning. Why would she want to be dragged into a stupid argument like this?
Yeah.
Like, it's honestly a silly case, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
yeah,
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, it's really
he said, she said, you know?
It's just a lot of bullshit. It's like, pay attention to me type stuff.
Right, but it has the power to make Taylor Swift look like a bully, and her whole brand is like girl power, but not like a nice girl.
Yeah, true.
Well, that's why this motion is to not make it go to court.
Right. I don't think they want it to go to court at all, because all the stuff's going to come out badly for them. They're going to look like the mean ones.
Yeah, agreed. They are going to look like the mean ones.
Well, if he could prove it, it's pretty hard. You got to prove her being. I mean, you got to prove her being evil.
Candace proved it pretty good.
Did she? I bet she did.
I also have a video about Bieber, Ashley.
Oh my God, don't get me started. TikTok is going wild on Justin Bieber. I have so many thoughts.
Can we hear them?
Whenever, well, we'll do the Blake thing first though, right?
Okay. Yeah.
I have been defending Justin on TikTok, like it's my job, like I'm on the payroll.
Yeah, this is a good video about him. It's not negative by any means.
Are you putting up Blake or the other one?
This is Blake.
Okay.
I said I can't be like, I'm gonna play it and then forget. We got it. I don't want to do that.
We're not that ADHD, right?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not today. Not at 2:00 in the morning.
Awesome.
There we go.
Again, attempting to dismiss the $400 million lawsuit from her former co-star Justin Baldoni has filed against her. News Nation entertainment expert Paula Froelich is here to break it all down. It ends with us. Of course, that's the movie. The drama doesn't seem to be ending.
Never ending.
But Blake Lively's following her husband's footsteps because Ryan Reynolds also asked to dismiss this lawsuit. So
everyone's trying to get out of the lawsuit.
Yeah.
First, it was the publicist, Leslie Sloan. Then it was Ryan Reynolds. And now it's Blake Lively claiming that it was vengeful and rambling, and that it goes against a California penal code that says you are not, you're abusing the legal system, and that you're not allowed to have retaliatory lawsuits. All right. So it's hilarious, though, because Baldoni's attorney, Brian Friedman, actually he's a street fighter.
Right.
And he actually said this lovely quote. He goes, Ms. Lively's recent motion to dismiss herself from the self-concocted disaster she initiated is one of the most abhorrent examples of abusing our legal system. We will continue to hold Ms. Lively accountable for her actions of pure malice. Now, do we think they're going to be able to be dropped? I doubt it. I really doubt it. There's a lot of evidence that Baldoni has, and it definitely needs to go in front of a court. Now, meanwhile, Baldoni is adding more people onto the lawsuit. He added his former publicist, Stephanie Jones. So if we'll all remember, back when the New York Times did the big story that blew everything up, there were all these messages from his now publicist, Jennifer Abel, who used to work with Stephanie Jones. And Stephanie took the work phone and gave all of the texts, according to Baldoni's lawyer, to BlakeLively and said, here's proof. They're working behind your back. Now, meanwhile, Baldoni is saying, buddy, here's the deal. She's the one who started this all, and she basically was behind all these leaks when both sides, Baldoni and Lively's team, had said there's going to be a truce, and they're saying that Stephanie Jones broke the truce and really started this all. Now, meanwhile, Baldoni is also asking, this is where it gets real big. He's asking for records from Marvel and Disney. He's saying we want everything in writing about that character Nicepool that mocked and defamed Justin Baldoni. And we want all of your records. So you're going to have to open up your vault and show us how Nicepool came about. Now, they're all saying, oh gosh, Ryan Reynolds is like, this is just hurt feelings. Well, guess what? My feelings would be hurt too.
Absolutely.
If my career and my income stream were absolutely destroyed. So this is really, really quite vicious. Then, of course, you've got the author, Colleen Hoover, the author of It Ends With Us, best-selling book turned into a movie. She is now claiming she is broke. She kind of raised a bunch of eyeballs. You'll remember she got off Instagram for a while, deleted all her posts in support of BlakeLively, deleted everything about Justin Baldoni. She's back on. She randomly was filmed, and I don't get this, making Diet Coke or Diet Pepsi ice cubes. Really odd. And then said basically she's broke because she manufactured all of this merch for It Ends With Us. It was supposed to be huge. It did make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Things like t-shirts and sweatpants and all this stuff. And it's not selling. So she's begging people to buy it.
All right. Very interesting. Paula Foley, thank you. And be sure to subscribe to the Scoop newsletter for the biggest stories in entertainment.
I missed them. Did you miss those, Ashley? Did you get
I didn't see that particular thing. Yeah, that's wild. I didn't know about the ice cubes.
The ice cubes is funny though. What is that even about?
I don't know.
I used to do that when I was a kid with like orange juice and stuff.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But
I like making fancy ice cubes, like putting like rosemary and like cranberries and stuff in them at Christmas. Yeah. But like, I don't think I would make Diet Pepsi ice cubes. That's weird.
No, I never.
No. In fact, no, that sounds gross. I was thinking about some berries. Berries are out there on sale right now, really inexpensive.
I did Hawaiian Punch iced tea when I was a kid.
In ice cubes, because then you put them in your drink, and there's fresh raspberries or whatever in it.
Well, you put a popsicle stick in them and eat them like that.
Oh, that too.
We're showing everyone just how ADHD we truly are. We're like, okay, back to the ice
cubes. Talking about ice cubes.
All we got out of that clip was ice cubes.
All apologies. We sorry, my apologies. It did sound good.
Our neurodivergence is showing.
It sounded, yeah. We are on all of the spectrums right here. The Justin video I have is only like a minute long. If we wanted to watch that.
Okay, can I preface the Justin stuff?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So here's what I think is going on right now. Like, this has been going on for years. Ever since Selena and Justin broke up, it's been like a ping pong back and forth of like they call them the Selenators, like Selena people who have never let go of the Selena Justin era, right? Justin has been married for like, I'm gonna say 6 or 7 years, some crazy shit like that. I mean, because he's quite young, he just turned 30.
He has a baby.
So it's a while. And he's happy. It just had a kid. Like life happens, right? Like people have ups and downs. I think he struggled with substance abuse. He's got trauma. He's talked about it openly. He's like gone down a lot of routes of like looking for religion or like various fixes. He wears his heart on his sleeve. Like clearly he does. It's what makes him good, but it also makes him vulnerable. And right now, Selena just dropped a new album, and like her top song is How Does It Feel to Be Forgotten? And it's clearly like we should play it, or we can't play it. Never mind. But someone should
I'd
play
love to
it
play
and
but I don't
listen
think
to
we can.
it. Like if you listen to it, it's like so clearly about Justin. It's basically like making fun of him because his recent, he came to a Road, which is Hailey's brand, party, and he looked skinny and he had a big smile on his face and he was like chit-chatting with like a bunch of people. But he didn't look his best, but it's like he also has a lot of co-occurring disorders, as does Selena. But Selena like puffs up and she gets kind of slurry and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
she has the more visible stuff going on. Yeah.
correct, but he gets skinny and he gets like very like gaunt, right? But like people don't factor in any of his health conditions at all. They always just think every crash out he has to do with Selena. Like it literally, if you go on TikTok, like one of the top searches is Justin Bieber crash out over Selena. It's like literally I'm going to try not to swear. Why would he be crashing out over Selena? Like literally that was like so many years ago. So many years ago. Benny Blanco used to do all of Justin's songs. In fact, he did that sad song that they are always playing, What If You Had It All?
Wait, stop.
Benny
Blanco, her husband, boyfriend, fiance?
Correct. He's done almost all pop songs that you hear. He's a producer on. Like he's kind of like DJ Khaled.
I didn't know he's a producer.
Yes, he's a huge pop star producer. So she's marrying this producer, and he used to be really close to Justin. Like that was like one of his like top friends.
Oh no.
And so now because the Selena's album is a Benny Blanco and Selena album. Which is cute, which is good for them. But why make like half your songs about Justin, or it's so obviously about Justin? Like Selena came out and basically said it wasn't, but that's kind of like her same narrative. And she does have a lot of bots. They are doing a lot of videos. Then this 7-part series drops that's so old and so tired of like Hailey being like a fan of Justin's. And here's the thing with that. She's like maybe 6 years younger than Justin, let's say. Like she's a bit younger. So she was probably a fan of his, like big friggin' deal. Like she was a big fan. Like
it does not seem weird at all.
Everyone was a fan. Like it was like, you know.
He's huge.
He was huge and she was younger, you know, like and people are like picking that apart again like it's brand new. It's like I'm sure after that much marriage, they probably talked about it and laughed about it and been like, oh my God, I was such a geek. And like clearly she's her own thing. Like she's got her own brand. I buy her brand all the time. I buy Rode. I love it. It's so good. And like, yeah. And I just think people need to get over it. Selena was great when she was with Justin. Now she's with Benny. If they're that happy, why can't they make their own music about their own lives? Why they have to go all the way back to Justin? Why use Justin and Hailey as a springboard? It's just so friggin' annoying. Like follow them all on Instagram and you'll see like there is no crash out. Justin is he's working on an album. He's going bananas. He's always posting crazy stuff. Like it's not always about Selena. People need to just stop.
What the video I have is from, let's see, it's from E! News. Is it going to be BS?
Well, it could be, let's see.
Okay.
Justin Bieber is getting candid about his anger issues. On March 22nd, the Grammy winner shares a series of photos on Instagram where he opens up about working on his anger. He writes in the caption, "I got anger issues too, but I want to grow and not react so much SMH." Justin then shares another message in a following post that reads, "I think I hate myself sometimes when I feel myself start to become inauthentic. Then I remember we're all being made to think we're not enough, but I still hate when I change myself to please people." In addition to the post on his main feed, the singer shared a screenshot from a 2019 post from his wife, Hailey Bieber, where she opened up about wanting to be, quote, more vulnerable in the upcoming year. He writes over the pic, "Still relevant, boo." In recent weeks, the 31-year-old has been especially active on social media, sharing some cryptic messages in addition to regular photo dumps. On March 13th, the singer got candid about personal struggles and feeling, quote, unworthy. Writing to his Insta story at the time, I personally have always felt unworthy, like I was a fraud. Like when people told me I deserved something, it made me feel sneaky. Like, damn, if they only knew my thoughts, how judgmental I am, how selfish I really am, they wouldn't be saying this. He added, I definitely feel unequipped and unqualified most days.
Aww. See?
He's dad.
Like, he's like a good guy, man. Like,
Writes in the caption,
like a lot of guys are shit shows and assholes and would never, like, the guys who are truly unworthy would never have that kind of self-awareness, self-reflection.
Agree completely.
He is a sweet man. He's trying to figure his life out. He's got a great wife who loves the shit out of him, and people can't handle that. Like, she will never leave him no matter what. There's all this divorce rumors that's been going on for, like, since they got married. She's never gonna leave him. Like, I wish that
I think they're
caption this video.
Cute.
Yeah.
The fact that they have a baby. Like, you can't.
Just had a baby.
It's like really gross. It's kind of gross. It's like a gross, weird, like mob manifestation that feels disgusting to want to push anything like that, or like make it even, you know what I mean? Like don't bring it to be just because you push on it. Like, let them, they're just people. They're just humans. Let them be.
And good for him for being so open. That's really sweet. Like, it's going to help people, right? Like, people are going to hear that he feels unworthy, and they're like, going to be like, oh my God, if Justin feels that way, like, I'm normal too.
Yeah. And I could imagine, like Ducky says, yeah, I imagine a lot of young celebrities got to be so overwhelmed. And a lot of what we've seen, you guys, is like a lot of them are overwhelmed. And then they're also overwhelmed with like, different, like helicopter parents or different kind of like parenting that doesn't work, and they're overwhelmed with, and their parents are overwhelmed, and so all their growing and learning and watching and viewing from the adults is like just like probably almost like insanity to go from being like normal Joe to having millions.
At the end of the day, they're still people,
right. And you know what? If he was to die tomorrow, and I don't want to like put that out there, but I'm just using that, like with Liam, right? People would be like, "Oh my God, he was such a bright star, and he was always so vulnerable with us, and this, that." It's like he had this beautiful wife and life, and it's like, no, you guys are trying to like rip it apart all the time. Like, just leave him alone.
Yeah. It's true. I don't watch as much as you do, so I see all the videos that I see. If I pass them. That one looked like it had some like positivity to it, and it did.
Yeah, it didn't mention Selena, so that's good.
Right? Yeah, that's what I thought was funny, because I was like, you know, what's funny is this video is only like 2 minutes long, and I thought it was interesting because you're right. Almost all of them. Almost all of the stuff that I've seen, and I tried to the articles I pulled up some articles about her and Benny, but I didn't find anything that was like written any place that was like reputable, that was like anything about the two of them. So I guess it's just like maybe
they were on the Jay Shetty podcast like literally yesterday.
Oh, the two of them, Selena and Benny. What were they talking about?
About their relationship and how perfect Benny is.
Interesting topic.
Get the fuck out of here. I think I could
probably an act,
for a year. Like, they've been together a year, right? They're not even married yet. Like, you wait. Come back when you've been together 7 years, you know?
Yeah. Nobody's perfect. And you can't hang that on somebody else either, you know? It's kind of weird.
No, it was like he had like all the right answers. He's like, I wake up every day, and I don't dislike him, but it was just a little much.
Sure.
He was like, I wake up every day and I try and think of ways to just make sure she knows that she's loved. It just didn't feel authentic. Like, if you're really doing that, you don't really have to talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, what? Like, okay, cool. Like, but she's literally right there. Like, why don't you guys talk about like what you love about each other, or like funny stories, or I don't know. It's just like, it seems so scripted.
Okay. I'm interested.
Yeah. I mean, check it out. Let me know what you think. But I'm not against them. I'm just against the people that are like so for them because it's like it was so clearly like put out there, you know?
Okay.
Whereas like Justin like writes his shit in the middle of the night and just posts it on his story. He's more like me. He does his own personal crash outs. Like,
if you're gonna set a dumpster on fire, everybody should watch.
Correct.
Right? I think that his the like being vocal about it is important though for people to a point. But it's funny because I don't listen to I don't listen to her music, so you know, there's so much music with actual meaning that's not that is about another person that's another musician.
Yeah.
That's always really funny to me because I just I get such a big kick out of it because I don't listen to enough of it ever to like know the beefs there, and so I don't know what's going on. So if I had listened to that album, I probably would have had no idea. I probably wouldn't even picked up on it. Her album, I guess, right? But what about Justin? Justin does he write songs about her? Does it seem
he's
like
better than that?
Right. That's what I mean. Like, that's so weird. I think it's weird that she did that. I don't understand. I like her.
I mean, she's still hung up on him. That's what that means.
Yeah, for real. I like her.
Exactly
But
what that means.
So weird. He does seem to be authentic. The fact that he can talk about being authentic is pretty big. Just saying. Like,
I think it's like that's just who he is. Like he doesn't have to script anything.
Yeah, I think I just would assume his life has been a whole lot of trauma, like all that stuff we were talking about, the overwhelmingness of it, of being like a kid with fandom, you know, that sort of stuff. It's got to be wild.
Oh, hell yeah.
Did we cover everybody?
Tiger Woods is dating Vanessa Trump.
Oh, yeah.
That's my pop culture
Is that
for
what?
the day.
Is that what that post was on Instagram?
I don't know. I just
Have you guys seen that post on Instagram where he asked
Was it from Vanessa Trump or from Tiger Woods?
Tiger, and everyone was like dogging on him.
What?
Probably, yeah.
What? I don't know.
I read it in the newspaper, but I mean,
I can put it in the back chat if you guys.
Oh, I forgot that we had the Luigi video.
Oh yeah, Luigi.
It's Luigi's attorney makes bombshell manifesto claim.
Oh, they say the police supposedly exploited his manifesto.
They exploited it?
Yeah, they put it out there and they weren't supposed to, supposedly. I don't know. I've seen a caption. And that's probably what that video's about, so if you want to play it.
Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
I want to see that thing on Tiger Woods.
Is live for us outside the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. That is where Mangione is being detained right now. So, Caitlin, break down this new filing for us.
Well, Nicole, just to clarify something a little bit, it's not that his attorney was saying there's no evidence that the manifesto was written by him. What she's questioning is the use of the word manifesto in general and saying whatever was allegedly found on him wasn't a manifesto because to be one, it needs to be released by the person who wrote it. And she said there is, in fact, no evidence whatsoever that Mangione released anything into the public in this new court filing here. Now, what his attorney is accusing law enforcement of, however, is taking this red notebook that they just say that they discovered on him when he was arrested in Altoona, Pennsylvania, and releasing what they call the contents of inside of that notebook. They call it a manifesto and some court documents from when they arrested him, and saying that the reason that this was leaked to the media was to whip the public into a panic and into a frenzy. And it was that panic and that frenzy that was then used by prosecutors to upgrade the charges against him to charges of terrorism. On the federal level, that makes him eligible for the death penalty. And at the state level, that is how he got that murder one charge. So his attorneys called this behavior by law enforcement, quote, wildly irresponsible. And what they're going to do moving forward is they're going to actually challenge not only the veracity of this quote unquote manifesto, but how it was obtained. So all the way over, you have to remember there's 3 court cases here. So all the way over in Altoona, Pennsylvania, his attorneys have also filed paperwork, Nicole, to try to have all of the contents of that
PAC be deemed inadmissible, as well as his arrest in general. So they really are trying to fight these charges against him from every single angle, Nicole.
Another case that so many people are watching closely. All right, Caitlin, thank you.
Right?
Yeah, so
I mean, I only knew that. I didn't even know about the manifesto, but I think Ducky's right that Ellie just like puts a story out there to make him look like a terrorist, to make it like look available for that charge.
when you get the death penalty too, like, you know, if you get he's charged as a terrorist.
Yeah. Most overrated transfer. Well, that did cover everything. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it is.
I love how Luigi is like no one's like even concerned with the fact that he might have killed someone. Everyone just loves him anyways.
The thing is that he's handsome, so there's that, right? And then you kind of like it's like railed against, right? Like you don't know how cruddy the insurance.
No, they like him because who he killed.
Yeah,
that's the whole deal. My sister really likes him. My sister's really big into him.
Yeah, because people feel for that like hatred of the insurance companies.
Yeah,
it's real.
It is.
Although they've been taking okay care of our friend Eric here.
Yeah. That's my United is my health insurance too.
Oh shit.
I can't complain.
That's actually really funny. But you know, there is that seems crazy to me that like the guy, the whole like they're not gonna introduce whatever was in his backpack. He's like right there. He's on camera. I mean, like we saw you shoot. I mean, it was your fingerprints are on the only one of those like fancy or antique guns or whatever it was. Like, sorry, how's that for DNA on the gun?
I just think they didn't. They called it a manifesto so they could get a terrorism charge, and that's
I know, but
right.
Like he just the fact that they even want to like try to like get like they're gonna like she said the every angle thing like so they'll just like try all the things, but I think the terrorist thing is gonna stick. Don't you? The terrorism.
Oh yeah, I do too. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But
what do you think, Ashley? Would
They
that be
get really good lawyers. I don't know. I'm gonna reserve judgment for now.
Do you have that charge in Canada?
Terrorism?
Domestic terrorism?
Oh, big time, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So how often do people get arrested for that? I mean, I guess that's probably
not very often. We're not.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good because people get arrested for that here every once in a while. Kind of scary. Did they consider the guy who drove into the crowd on Bourbon Street? Is that domestic terrorism?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
He had an ISIS fucking flag.
Oh, he did? Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot. Okay, yeah, that's definitely gotcha. Definitely pushing for terrorism there. Yeah. There you go. There you go, Ducky. Not terrorism, yeah, for sure. Because you like Luigi. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's kind of hard too. Because, yeah, I get it. What do you guys think, though? Now I think we wrapped it up.
Okay, well, so what did we learn today? What do we know? What do we
know? What do we know?
Well, I think it was interesting that we all have different takes on Idaho. Like, we all have completely different outlooks. I actually didn't know what you guys thought. Like, I know that we all talk about it all the time, but it's interesting for me to hear what you guys are thinking, especially because everything's so brand new and coming out right now. Maybe we put a poll in the community. I'm curious to know, like, we'll do it like every so often and see what changes, right?
Well, I don't know. I don't want to pigeonhole in on that. I just feel like it's I feel like I change my mind all the time until I get to see I mean, we're going to be in court so soon. We're actually going to see it. And if he takes a stand, that's what I want to see him, you know, I want to see all the demeanor. I want to see everything to like kind of observe how he is. Cause I don't know how he is as a person. He's sitting there like on, sitting there like I could get the death penalty.
I don't know.
I want to see everything. I want to see, for some reason, that's important to me.
Well, I think that's in August. I don't think he's going to court.
You think he's going to Alfred plea?
Some kind of plea. I don't know. I think if he gets the death penalty taken away, he's playing.
Agreed. I agree. I do agree that would be the smart thing to do at this point. It does look like in all of the information that is available, it does make him look guilty. I just think it's a damn shame if it was drug dealers.
I want to know.
Ashley, you missed it. There's a drug dealer arrested here who had I don't know how much of it, Eric. He had
he's got 30 what was it? 30 kilos of fentanyl every week or every 2 weeks.
Woo. Wow.
In Boise.
I say kill him. Kill all the fentanyl dealers.
He got 232 months in prison, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Is it enough? He's just going to go to prison and deal drugs there, probably.
Right. I think if you've ever lost somebody that you love to fentanyl, you have the outlook of kill all the fentanyl dealers.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Fentanyl is a government drug.
Eric and I think they introduced it to kill people off.
Probably, but still.
They did, definitely. Wasn't around in 2020.
And it's been around medically. It's like a medical drug. I've seen it when my mom had medical things, there was on the pain, I've seen it on people's pain things. That's what they were doing in the hospital.
Yeah, maybe in the hospital, but I mean, I was in that world and I never heard of it back then.
No, that's what I mean. It was
that's
what I mean, being introduced into society. How did it get so when did it get to be pill form? Hey, Necessary Evil. You don't think the narcissist will take the plea? Interesting. That's an interesting outlook.
Steve don't want to plea.
Yeah, Steve definitely doesn't want to plea. I have a video with Steve on the news.
Ooh, can we watch that?
Yeah, we can. I'm like, are we done? No, we can talk for hours. Sorry, guys. Sorry, y'all. I think we could talk forever, but let's not do that. Let's find that video because I was like,
this is kind of my catch up though too.
Yeah, well, we need to catch you up. That's funny. I wanted to catch you up over give you one of these things over a show. Because I like Steve. I like him because he's an Idahoan. He's an Idahoan. He's another.
The only one of the fucking parents showing it, doing something.
It is pretty incredible. I don't know how you couldn't do something. I don't know how you could do nothing, I guess. Or I don't know what, I don't know. Plant flowers or whatever the other family's doing is something. That's what they feel they're doing. Let's see here. We see Steve? He looks upset. Let's see Steve.
Steve, thank you so much for joining Top Story. And I also want to say I'm so sorry that you have to join us and that we have to speak like this. I know you were doing this to speak for your daughter, but I am so sorry this is a situation you find yourself in at all. I want to start with just asking you about that selfie that everyone has now seen. What went through your head? What did it feel like when you saw that selfie of Bryan Kohberger allegedly taken hours after your daughter and her housemates were murdered?
It was a trophy. He made himself a trophy. He felt like at that point he had just returned from the crime scene. There was no one there. And he believed, very confident, that's what the thumbs up. He's going to look back at that, remember what he got away with. And, it's a challenge to Idaho to let everybody know that, he thought he could kill people in our state, get away with it. He was far smarter than everyone else around him. And, he studied it. He's trying to be a PhD in it. So I think it was a challenge to Idaho. And I think Idaho will definitely step up. And he's going to regret that photo.
Steve, I want to also ask you about one of the requests the defense is making to the judge, asking that they do not allow spectators to wear T-shirts with pictures of the victims on them or anything like words in the memory of. How does that make you feel?
It's petty. I don't worry about it though. My daughter's, justice and getting this conviction is much more important than wearing a shirt. I've never worn a shirt in court. They'll never be able to ever show that I ever did. So, when you got somebody facing, death row, you probably should focus more on, the case and the evidence rather than who's going to be in there witnessing it.
The defense has also claimed that they're going to present alternate perpetrators. Do you believe there is anyone else involved in the murder of your daughter and her housemates?
No, not at all. There's surveillance all around there. You're going to clearly see who was coming into the place and exactly when they were leaving and what that vehicle looked like when it took that corner. This case is solid. It's super solid. And, we look forward to it. They're just trying to delay it, but it's time to pay the piper. We're all going to see what the state has, and I'm very confident in what they have.
How is your family holding up and handling all of this? I mean, last week we heard the 911 call partially released. We've seen this selfie now. What is it like for you and your family to keep having these items, these bits of information come out?
It is hard. It's very hard. You kind of just prepare your family, tell them to stay away from the TV, stay away from, parts of the internet. So, but it's nice to get this information out. It's good to see the facts. I mean, it's weird to wait 2.5 years to know like some of the final things that, your child has been through. We're still waiting on even like laptops and things that, so we can see, her playlist and things that she was working on. It's tough. It's tough to go through this, but, I just think of all the officers and, the FBI agents and all the hard work that they put into this. So, I can wait and, we can get this out. We can figure it out.
As we move closer to seeing Bryan Kohberger actually face a jury and answer to these charges, what for you and your family is the thing you hope people focus on the most when that coverage really gets in full swing? What is it you hope people don't forget about what y'all have experienced or about your daughter?
I think if people can concentrate on how much victims they were, how these people were just going through their everyday life, trying to be educated, try to be like the best type of human being that you could possibly be. And even having all the way from like their meals that they shared together till their Uber ride, they weren't drinking and driving, they weren't doing anything bad, and come home and to go to your bed and to have some stranger he's not even a part of our state, he just didn't even belong here, and to have that person sneak into your home and kill you in your bed. If there wasn't ever a moment for people to rally together and say, it's time to take this to the full closure and have a message that's out there so we can kind of point to say, we put our foot down right here. And, when we have these school shooters and people that do these mass murders, maybe we have to start, putting our foot down and taking it to the darkest part, all the way till we finalize these people. And then maybe we can stop having these so often.
Have you been able to speak to any of the other families, Ethan's family, Zaina's or Maddie's?
Yeah, I've spoken to all the families, some more than others, but yeah, I mean, Karen she'll call us in the middle of the night, so we know if you're struggling, you're having a hard day, that you picked up that phone and you spend some time talking to somebody. And I love talking about Maddie all the time, so it's pretty easy for us to do.
Are you and the other families confident right now that prosecutors have what they need to get a conviction here?
Yeah. They broke that down early on, and they basically outlined a couple different scenarios. And one of those was, hopefully this person comes out and says that he was framed. Was ideal, because that basically just means there's so much evidence that he just can't combat it. We didn't think we'd get as lucky as no alibi. We thought he'd think it out. And he is a smart guy. I figured he'd have some better way to explain what he was doing that night. I mean, I could think of a lot of better ways he could have done it. Really tricky stuff, but he didn't. And luckily, the case is going to be, it's going to be handled, and we'll get the eventual. We'll never get our kids back. I take that over any of this, but
yeah,
this is the best that we can make of the situation that we're in.
Steve Gonzalez, thank you so much for joining us. And I promise you, we will remember Ethan, Kaylee, Zaina, and Maddie as we move forward covering whatever happens next with this trial. We appreciate your time tonight.
Thank you.
And we'll be.
That is wild. How come this isn't everywhere? Like he's always dropped some interesting
Every time.
facts, right? Like,
yep.
Like, I mean, a video surveillance of who's coming and going, you'll be able to see exactly. That's going to be hard to watch, guys. Like, imagine seeing that, like him, like coming into the house. Like, I feel like that's going to be the creepiest thing ever.
Yeah. It's going to be so sad. What, there's an update in the Black Dahlia murder, Necessary Evil?
You know what he said about the DP?
What?
I asked him if he said, I wish I could trade my daughter for life in prison, but I can't, so he doesn't deserve life.
Oh, yeah. Well, I do think, if he's convicted, when things like that happen, they should be like, let's let the parents decide what to do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not how it works, but it would be nice if it did.
I think Steve wants the full Monty. And you know what that tells me too is he thinks that there's enough evidence.
It sounds like it, right? That's what I mean.
If you have a video, if you have a friggin' video of him coming and going at that time, I mean, like, and also he's like, we thought that he'd be able to come up with something better. Like, that is slam dunk shit.
There was a camera across the street. It was taken. There was a camera across the street. It was taken early.
Oh yeah, that directly across the street. That's the one we want. That's the kid they want. We want. That's the one that I think is going to have. I mean, why wouldn't that be the main one?
You know what I was thinking? Like, what if they have him on camera and but they needed to get it. Like, they see who it was, and then they did all that DNA stuff, because they needed to get him. Like,
I think it's gonna be so clear, guys. I think come court, there's gonna be some people that are gonna look really fucking stupid. What do I really think?
I'll probably be one of them sometimes.
Well, I mean, if there's video footage.
Well, I mean, I think about I've been doing this for over a year. Right?
Yeah, over a year. We've been doing it for 2 years. I mean, we were together.
I just meant on Kohberger. Like, for me, I started with Robert in the beginning of last year. So I think about all the stuff, all the crazy things we've come up with.
I've been on this from day one.
Well, yeah, I just meant in YouTube. In the world of speculation, I'm here. I was just getting the news, the actual news, and everybody here thinks he did it.
Yeah, I'm on that team.
Well, I'm proud to say that I was on the other team, that he didn't do it. But I think that a sign of intelligence is to be able to change your mind when new evidence or new information becomes apparent. And I certainly was on the side of he didn't do it. He was some type of, needs to be let out and all this stuff. But as things kept going and I started to really understand how true crime actually works and the gag order and, seeing that we probably know nothing and that the police were very honed in. I just have a really hard time believing that they have it wrong.
Yeah.
And I have a really hard time with people blaming these roommates. That one, to me, it's I will debate people on that. And I know that that's what's going on because I have seen enough YouTube to see that at least right now. And I think that is disgusting.
I haven't seen any of that. I haven't watched any of the YouTube channels.
It's going on. Yeah, it's going on.
Yeah, big time.
I've watched the ones that were like the actual news things and not like the.
You mean you're normal?
Well, I mean, I'm just trying to keep up. Like I said, I live here. I'm here. I'm aware of what's going on.
I see people gloating about it.
I'm not gonna name the channels because we're not
Me
that
neither,
type of
but
channel.
it was disgusting.
Yeah. They're not hard to find. They were on Paramount.
Yeah, I sent them a message.
Paramount, that's what channel that was on. I was trying to remember. I was like, no, it was just that one, and it was full of like people who were like super speculating, and it was so early on. But I didn't want to.
Do you guys want to hear something so random? This is like, there's a man in my DMs right now. I'm trying to ignore him, but he's going wild. And he screenshotted a picture of me from 2022. And he said, I'm sitting here looking at this photo, blah, 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 blah. He's trying to figure out your genetic ancestry through facial features. But I'm looking at you and it has not yet come to me. I'm going to guess Egyptian and Scottish with some work done.
Wow.
With some work done.
Weird. With some work done. That was nice.
Yeah, with some work done.
Wow.
I would be amazed if I was correct. LOL. Regardless, holy shit. You should definitely get going on having children because genes like yours are precious and they will almost be non-existent in another 20 years. We need to keep your blood here for eternity, clone that shit, and create an advanced race of supermodels that can save everyone, run the planet, and be executioners. No need to vote you in. We will appoint you to be the real queen. This will be right after we got the whole government and the system. Imagine being a person like that at, what time is it now? Almost 2 in the morning, my time?
Yeah. Wow.
What kind of drugs require you?
I know. We're like, which drug dealer did you call? Just kidding. I think we could
wrap
wrap
to
it
share
up
that with you guys because it's so random.
We could wrap it up with that, Ashley.
Yeah.
We could wrap it up with Ashley's Instagram dumps or whatever. It was good. It's nice. Thanks for stopping by us, Sarah Evil.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, everybody, for coming by.
Yeah, thanks for putting up with us.
Always wonderful to be here.
Good night, Ashley.
All awesome.
Good night, Ashley.
Good night, guys. Love you lots.
Love you.
Bye, guys.
Great show. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Oh, good night, Ashley. I just caught that. Good night.
Good night, Ashley.
Good night. Good night, Ducky. Good night, Sarah Evil. Good night, Mr. Mandela. Good night, anybody listening to us who is creating an Instagram reel right now. Okay?
Good night.